Now then, here we are, me at Mutt, just currently walking past Styhead Town in the beautiful Lake District. We've got this sunshine that's just trying to get its way through those low level clouds there, up over Scarfell Pike and all. Anyway, today we are heading for a cold camp. As you can see, we have got a lot of frozen ground. Half of the lake's actually frozen as well. And we are going to be sleeping in a bivvy bag. I've got my bivvy bag, I've got the one that I made my dog, and obviously all the gear to make sure that we're going to be warm enough for the night. I'm actually travelling in lightweight gear. I've got just a tracky top that I've already taken off, thin little top here. I've got some sexy leggings on and shorts, and that's just allowing me to move a little bit quicker through the hills to the point where we're going to sleep tonight. And it is an absolutely epic spot. It is definitely one of the best places to pitch a tent in the Lake District, but it is no easy path to get there, so it's not one for the faint-hearted. Anyway, we are going to head up onto Great Gable and camp just off it in the bivvy, eh? I've also got something which I've made or adapted. I've got my sewing machine out, and it's a problem that I've had for a while, and I just have made something that I'm hoping to test tonight to see whether it does, or it fares well in cold conditions, because it's obviously going to be below freezing tonight. But also, whoa, I need to make sure that it sort of fits and feels well for when I test it in some more testing conditions, we'll say. We're at the stretcher box for the mountain rescue, and we're now, this is where it turns and starts to head up. Quite a gnarly path, to be honest, but it's not we can't handle. We just have to take our time. Whoa. Just jumping over that, I don't want to get wet feet. Yeah, come. It's definitely a bit of a scramble, all this. Loads of sort of rocks to navigate, and obviously we're just under this massive cliff at the minute, and like these rocks have, over the millennia, fallen off here, and some have got caught up here, still quite high up, but many have rolled off all the way down into the valley there. Come on, Bluey dog, climb. Just like that. He flies up all this terrain, he loves it, absolutely loves it, as do I. It is just that little bit more testing, which I definitely prefer, because I just get so bored sat in my comfort zone. In fact, I've never been out of my comfort zone. I honestly can't say I have. But what I do say is that it's about stretching your comfort zone. So obviously the more things you do in life, the more demanding things then the further your comfort zone stretches. And I always feel like I want to be pushing the edge of that for definite and stretching it as far as I can. And another thing about comfort zones, this is my theory anyway, as I say, it's more about stretching it rather than getting out of your comfort zone, because when you're out of it, it's actually a very dangerous place to be potentially. So I think it's about stretching it, and I always sort of think of it as like rolling out a pizza dough. So when you roll out pizza dough, it goes out for a while and then it retracts back. And I think the more you stretch your comfort zone, the more it actually ends up staying in the place you want it to stay, if you know what I mean. Because obviously if you don't use it, like your brain pathways, if you don't use them, then they just retract back and they become smaller. So it's just a case of pushing yourself and stretching and stretching and stretching to the point that you are able to do a lot more in life, like get out and just enjoy things like this. So there we go. I don't know, I do talk some rubbish, and it's actually quite hard to explain my brain at times because I do have a lot of thoughts, and obviously it's just me in my own head, and I love that place, absolutely love it, but transferring that to other people, it's actually quite hard really, because obviously everyone's different and it's hard to understand somebody else's brain. Oh dear. Anyway, enough of that pizza waffle. Let's continue along this slightly easier path now, where we have to get to the point where we meet the scree and end up going straight up. So we've come all the way around this path to the bottom of this scree section here, which as you can see leads straight up there to Great Napes. So we need to get directly up that, me and dog. And if you can just see up there, the sun is still striking the hilltop, so I'm hoping we can just get the last little glimmer of that, because it is getting late, so I do need to get up there before it gets dark. The sun has just about sort of gone down behind the Scarfell Pike range there. So it's sort of a race against time really, just to make sure that I'm there before having to battle the dark as well as the actual scree. Anyway, let's get up, eh? This is actually where I'm probably most at home, going up tough terrain. It's just like a fell race. It's definitely 2 steps forward, 1 step back on this. It's sort of not quite steep enough to put your hands down on it and go on all fours, but annoyingly it's just very slippy. Try and grab all the rocks on the side when I can, just to give me an extra wide base of support. Right, it's tiring up legs is this. Ah. Look at this. Come on then. Good boy. He's a good lad. Get on and climb. Well, as you can see, I've sort of broke its back now. It does continue up there, and I'm catching that sunshine. It's still there, but we are proceeding up through this gully, which is another bit of a scramble. But we only need to get up there a few hundred meters, and that is hopefully where we're going to camp for the night. Dog's already halfway up because he likes to lead. He does like to be point in the pack, and that's because he's wanting to look after me, make sure the coast is clear from any other danger, any other predators. It's that pack mentality, you see. Thriving together. That's a fair chunk that's fallen down. What a place though, it's absolutely epic here. Not a place for not a place for the faint-hearted though, because it is definitely one that's slippy and hard to manoeuvre. You can see the sun just striking this top section of rock there, but it's just sort of sat in this slightly hazy cloud. But all this ground is frozen now, all the way up there, so it's actually a little bit grippier because it's not slipping from under my feet. But I'm still having to obviously take care because there are some rocks that will move. I think I'll be happier once I get onto this grass. Let's move over a little bit. There we go. That's better. It's a little bit softer if I do slip. Less to sort of whack my knee or ankle on. Right, come on. Oh wow, look at that. Sun just in that cloud there. All these little tiny pinnacles. What a place. Yeah, it's coming in now. You can see not much visibility down there. Wow, look at this. We've got this cloud that's just sitting down in the valley chasing me up, but if you turn around and look at this, we've got the perfect temperature inversion coming in. That's the Scafell Pike Range there, just squirting out the top of it. So I'm looking forward to getting up these last few steps to see exactly where we are. Oh, it's so exciting. Chasing that sunshine. And here it is. Wow. Absolute wow. Look at that. I am lost for words. Absolutely spectacular. We've got this temperature inversion all the way around, right over the far distance there, which is where the sea is. Just a couple of little peaks sticking up. Wow. Absolute wow. Well, that was just beautiful. Well, it still is beautiful. The sun has disappeared now and it is bitterly cold up here. Although I actually feel that it would probably be colder down in the bottom there, where the cold air has actually sunk into the valley bottom. So I hope we stay above this cloud level. You can just sort of see it sneaking in here. But if I bring you over to this side, it's still beneath us there. Anyway, I need to sort all my gear out, get my down trousers on, down jacket, and the bivvy bag I'm going to set up just there on that little flat section. So it goes off that way, so I don't want to be using it as a sledge down there, nor down that side. So I do have to be a little bit careful. Oh man, it's bloody cold though. Oh dear, what a fantastic night though. I would not want to be anywhere else. Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be the only person on the island of Great Gable, but I wonder if there's anybody on the island of Scafell Pike over there. Looking up at the summit cairn, I can't see anyone. Normally you can sort of see some little silhouettes of people, but it seems like it's empty. But if there is someone over there, I'm waving. It does feel like it is an island though. Very, very strange. Anyway, down gear, let's go. Right, first job, I'm going to put on my down trousers. Straight over the top of all this. And these are quite a heavyweight down mountain pant. They've got like some braces, which is quite nice because it just sort of locks you all in, and then obviously it'll link up with my down jacket as well. Oh, that does make a difference straight away. So these bottoms are made by Mountain Hardware, and they've got full sort of zips all the way around the butt and everything, because they're more of a high altitude mountain expedition pant really, because it just means you can unzip around the back and then go to the toilet if you need, so you're not taking them all off totally and freezing yourself. And the jacket is the PHDesigns Wafer Ultima jacket, and this thing is sort of rated down to about freezing, but with a couple of layers on underneath I should be okay tonight, even though it's going to be a bit below freezing. And obviously I'm going to be in my sleeping bag as well, so that will keep me toasty warm. The dog, I've actually brought a down jacket for him as well, which I'm going to put on, and he can sleep sort of in that and on top of his mats as well as inside his bivvy bag, so we should be all right. Oh man, it's cold though. The dog's got his eye on a sheep just up there, the only other living thing on our island, so if we get desperate I can have lamb chops for dinner. I can't believe it's nearly 5 o'clock though, and there's still this orange glow. Normally down in the valley bottoms at this time it'd be pitch black, so it's just quite nice to be still in it, enjoying it at this time. And it's just like illumination, the light, you know, it's lighting up this sort of mountain behind me and illuminating my face, feeling rather vibrant. But yeah, it don't really get much better than this, does it? And it's still just sat there, this whole cloud set all the way around. Oh dear. Yep, this is what happiness is. Out on a mountain, getting to see these special moments that you do not get sat at home. Unless you're watching this video, then at least you'll get a bit of an idea of what's going on. But you don't truly get that feeling in here, which is what I'm all about. I just want to allow my body to experience as much as possible, get that brain firing and taking on those memorable moments, and hopefully they'll last me forever. And if not, I can always watch my videos. Anyway, I'm going to continue taking in this last bit of light, and I think what I might do is open a beer, because I brought 2 beers with me, and that'll just be a nice thing to do up here on my own island, enjoying life to the absolute max tonight, with Mutt as well. You're a good lad, aren't you? Hey? Oh my boy. I found myself a little perch, and it is actually quite like a perch. It's sat on this little arete that is like a branch that's coming off the mountain. So yeah, I feel like a little bird at the minute. In fact, it's more like a throne, you know, just sat here, knowing that there's that massive world out there, and I'm just part of it, looking down on the rest of it, knowing I can go out there and see more of it. As I said earlier, it's about filling my brain with these memories. Anyway, let's kill a few brain cells now. So I'll take my gloves off a second because I've got a beer here. So this is by North Brewing Co, I think. It is called Invisible Cities, and it's a 6.7% hazy IPA. So I've actually got 2 beers tonight. Let's open this one. But I do like this one. Right, let's have a taste then. So I've had this one before a couple of times, and it's a really, really nice beer. Oh yeah. Although the temperature is rather refreshing, that definitely is adding to it. So I want to sit back in my throne and just take all this in, eh? Oh wow. Absolute wow. I think I need my gloves back on though, because it is definitely a cold one. Cheers guys anyway. To good health, making memories, and making the most of life. All these moments we have, just a case of getting out and doing what you can in the time we've got, because it is not much time. And I'm saying that to all young'uns out there, because when I was your age, at sort of 20 or 30, I still thought I had a lot of life left in me. But when you get into your 40s, you soon realise it's like, I wish I'd sort of made the most of that time I had. Not to say that I've not had a good life, because I've actually done a hell of a lot in mine, but you could always do more. Yep. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, that beer went down well. Sat here with this view and the ambience of all this. I've got to say, probably one of the best beers I've ever had. So there you go. Anyway, it is time for dinner. So for dinner, I have made myself some butties because I couldn't really be bothered carrying all the extra weight with the food and also the cooking equipment. So I've kept it nice and simple. So I've made myself some very simple squashed, can you see that? Ham, lettuce and mayonnaise sandwiches. Very cold, but good. That'll keep me happy anyway. Don't throw it in my mouth full. What a night though. I'm sat here, obviously against this sort of rock here. I've got the dog at my feet, hey, and he's laid on his mat down there with a down jacket over the top of him as well, so just to keep him warm, because it is pretty chilly up here. And although he's probably be fine sort of laid out for an hour or so, after that then obviously I need to make sure that he's maintaining his body temperature. So a down jacket, he's got a bivvy to get inside as well, as do I. So there you go, this is it, dinner and another beer to come. Yes. Well, those butties went down well. I've actually got a little chocolate bar for later on as well, just to add a bit of sweetness to the night. But I'm going to open this second beer, which is the Vocation Brewery Life and Death Classic IPA, 6.5%. So not the strongest, but still worth carrying up here, just so I can sort of sit, sip and just enjoy carrying on taking this beautiful night in. Oh, that's nice. Yep, very nice indeed. Need to put this glove back on though. I've seen one headlamp over on the Scafell range and that is it. And that was at the summit, then it just slowly worked its way down into the cloud, gone. So now it looks like I'm the only one out here above the cloud. And it's quite strange to think that everyone else is just down in the valleys, in the towns and villages, in a nice warm home, and I'm up here just enjoying life to the fullest, I would say. It wrapped in my down gear. Yeah, it don't get much better, it really doesn't. And not a breath of wind. On the forecast it said that it was going to be 15 mile an hour winds, but there is nothing, absolutely nothing. So it's just a pleasure, an absolute pleasure sat here. Nothing interrupting me or causing me to think that I need to move or do anything different from what I'm doing now. Just sat in it, as I say, enjoying life. Oh yes, I do waffle on, don't I? I do waffle on. Brilliant. Cheers anyway. I cannot believe how just calm and relaxing it has been tonight. There's literally not a breath of wind, there's no sound whatsoever, and I've only seen one bit of movement, and that's just one person coming down from Scafell Pike Summit and just wandering down into the clouds, and that's it. The cloud inversion has dissipated because we had this cloud coming over the top of us which was at quite high level, and obviously that's messed about with the temperatures. So the cloud inversion has gone, but there is still a little bit lingering around. So I think in the morning we might have something similar. I'm hoping for anyway. Anyway, let's show you my sleep system and the dog's sleep system. I've got everything set up here. Let me just get a bit more light on the matter. So we have a North Face Bivvy bag, which is part of their Summit series. But I do not like this bag. I think it's badly designed. It actually comes with a cross sort of pole set that actually holds this up. But if you've got a pillow, your face touches the poles, so it's absolutely pointless using that. Also, this zip section finishes in the middle there, so you can only open one side, which is great if you're facing out that way because you can breathe out of the door as such. But if you turn over in the night and you want to face that way, you're breathing into the bag, and obviously you want to keep the moisture out of it as much as possible, especially on a night like tonight where you can actually breathe out into the open because we're not going to have any rain. You can obviously close it up if necessary. Anyway, inside I have got the Thermarest NXT X-Lite mat, and that is a regular mat because it fits inside a bivvy bag, which is obviously makes the whole sleep system work. The wider mats generally you struggle with. I've also got the PHDesigns Minim 400k sleeping bag, which is ultra lightweight. Hey Bluey dog. That only weighs 585 grams. That is all it is. It's got no zips, anything like that. It's just no faff. It just does what it needs to do, and that is keep you warm and obviously be ultra lightweight at the same time. I've also got my pillow in there, so once I get in I'll sort myself out. My down socks are sat waiting, and I've also got this, which I'll show you in a minute. This is something that I've sort of adapted out of something else, and it is hopefully going to help me out, so I'm going to test that tonight. So for the dog, he has got a bivvy bag, which is something that I made him, and this is out of an old Gore-Tex army bivvy bag. He's got a mat underneath him there, and also this is the mat that I made him, which is also a Gore-Tex, and it's got 8 layers of foil inside that, so he gets a bit of reflective heat back to him. I'm also going to put this nice down jacket over him, so he'll be toasty warm. Although look at him, he's happy sat on the floor thinking I'm going to throw a rock for him. You're a daft thing, aren't you? So that is it. What else? I've got my liner for my bag. I've actually taken out and I put over the top just in case it does rain or anything like that. That's all covered and safe. I've got my little lantern, and then that is my switch bot, which just is taking the temperature. So currently we're at about -2. So this is what I am here to test tonight, and it is something that I have adapted myself. It was a balaclava sort of thing. It had a full sort of head thing going on, and it was all a bit weird. And obviously it's just something for cold weather, so if you're out walking in some pretty nasty conditions, it will cover your sort of face up. Now the problem is with it, it's got this perforated section here, but this bit was really small, so I've cut this a lot bigger just so it fits better. I've also cut obviously the head section off and then restitched it all up. Look at my lovely little seam down the middle there, and I've also, if you can see, stitched these bits up as well, which were open. And this now fits a lot closer to my sort of head and neck. Let's just show you. There you go. And it just allows me to cover my nose. This is my issue that I've got, because when you're sleeping out like this, you get very, very cold on the bits that are exposed to the air. So for me, it's always my nose. So either I drop my woolly hat over my eyes and nose, or I'm going to test this out and see what it's like. So I'll put it on for you now and you can see it. Like I'm going to rob a bank or something. Well, hopefully it will keep my nose warm. I've sort of made it in such a way that I can actually breathe down through my nose here, and obviously my mouth's exposed as well, so I can breathe out of my mouth if needed. But if it works, I will be using this on other camps in the future for definite. Anyway, it is definitely time to lay this lug, and hopefully we'll wake up in the morning and we will have another spectacular event like we've had tonight with that amazing temperature inversion. I'm hoping the clouds come back and just sit in this valley again for something similar for the sunrise. We'll see you morning. Take care. Morning, flowers. Well, this thing worked pretty well. I didn't get a cold nose, and that was the main thing, so I'll definitely be using this again. Let's just whip it off. Whew. And I don't know if you can hear, but there is a little bit of moisture in the air because it's just started to rain. So this is going to push me out of this bivvy bag and get me off down to somewhere that's going to be a bit drier. So as fast as we can, I'm gonna get packed up, get my waterproof jacket on, and then me and Bluey Dog can get on to another adventure. Hey? Right, let's do it. And when the cloud disappears, that's the view you get. Down to Water, absolutely beautiful. And there's only this one place that you can actually camp, which is just there. Absolutely beautiful though. And if we come this way, we've got Water there, and this goes into a very cloud covered Scarfell Pike range all the way around, and then we've got the sun just trying to make an appearance in the distance. All packed up, ready to go. I'm just taking in this view one last time before we head back down. Now, as you can see, it's pretty gnarly all the way around here, and that is the route we came up. And I feel it's more dangerous going down there than it will be going to the summit of Great Gable and then dropping down to Windy Gap and down to Styhead Town that way. So that's the route we're going to take, just because it's a little bit safer, and hopefully it's not going to be clagged in like it is over there. I can't see any cloud this way, if you can see, so we might get some nice views from there too. So, you ready, Bluey? Let's skedaddle. Go on then. Come on. There we are, the summit of Great Gable, 899 metres. And I feel quite lucky today because it's clear up here and I've got the views all the way down the different valleys. But if you look on the other mountain ranges, they're absolutely clagged in, pea soup all round. So I feel like I've chosen the right place to be today. Anyway, what an adventure. I just feel blessed that I have the body to be able to get to these places and then get to experience things like that beautiful cloud inversion last night. I mean, the sun setting just down over the back of it, bouncing off the top. I honestly just had just a very, very special moment, which lasted a good hour. So yes, and as I always say, you do not get to see these things if you're sat at home, and there's so much to see in nature wherever you are. So whatever you can do, get yourselves outside and just appreciate what's there. So as always, give the video a big fat thumbs up, and if you want to contribute at all so I can continue making these videos, then you can check out the links in the description. There's one for my Patreon which you can join, or you can also contribute by my PayPal account or buying me a coffee. So anyway, as I say, I'm so thankful for every time anyone does contribute, because it just does keep my head above water and allow me to get out and do all this. Anyway, from me and the beautiful Blue, who's waiting eagerly, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.